Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're tackling something that sounds, well, totally absurd right out of the gate, making 1 crore rupees from absolute scratch in just 90 days. I know. Your immediate reaction is probably massive skepticism, and honestly, it absolutely should be. But hey, let's play along for a bit. Let's strip away all that get-rich-quick internet hype and look at the actual raw mathematics of a modern growth playbook. Could it actually be done? Let's dig into the math together and see if this whole idea actually holds up.
I mean, seriously, can you really pull off 1 crore in just 3 months? For most of us, slapping that kind of cash onto a timeline that short just screams clickbait, right? Or, a really terrible strategy for playing the lottery. And without a rock-solid system, yeah, it's 100% impossible. But what happens when we swap out the hype for unadulterated math? It turns out when you really break it down, it starts looking a lot less like magic and a whole lot more like engineering.
So let's just do the math right now. If you take that 1 crore and divide it by 90 days, you get 1.11 lakh. That is your daily target. Every single day, for 3 solid months, you need to generate 1,11,000 rupees. Bam! Suddenly, this isn't some giant abstract mountain we're staring at anymore. It's a concrete, actionable daily quota. And honestly, just that one tiny shift in perspective, it changes absolutely everything about how you'd approach building a business from day one.
Here's the exact blueprint we're going to explore today. First, deconstructing that impossible goal. Then, finding high-ticket problems. Building a relentless sales machine. Scaling it all up. And finally, getting a real reality check on revenue versus profit. This isn't fluff, guys. It's a highly structured playbook.
All right, let's jump right into part 1. Deconstructing the impossible goal and mapping out that financial roadmap.
Now, this schedule perfectly captures the kind of pacing we're talking about. Look, you don't just wake up on day 1 casually making over a lakh. In the first 15 days, your total target is a pretty modest 2 lakh. But watch the momentum shift. By days 31 to 45, that requirement jumps to 10 lakh, and that final 15-day sprint, a staggering 40 lakh rupees. This entire strategy is literally built on rapid, aggressive compounding. You are constantly scaling up your efforts as the clock ticks down.
Which brings us to phase 1 of this playbook, finding high-ticket problems.
To actually hit these escalating numbers, you need a ruthlessly strict timeline. Think about it. You have exactly 15 days to find a problem that's actually worth solving. Then days 16 to 30, those are purely for building your sales machine. By day 60, you absolutely must be scaling what works, and by day 90, you're introducing a highly scalable product. There is literally no room to waste a single afternoon on things that don't directly drive revenue. It's a total pressure cooker right from the word go.
So why is this specific timeline so absolutely crucial? Well, think about the unit economics. If your daily target is 1.11 lakh, there is no way you're hitting that by trying to convince 1,000 random people to buy some 100 rupee trinket from scratch. The math just completely breaks down for a 90-day sprint. The absolute undeniable necessity here is a high-ticket model. We're talking about selling one comprehensive package priced somewhere between 50,000 and 2 lakh rupees. You've got to find a client pain point that is so unbelievably severe that they will happily, gladly pay a premium to cure it.
And we're not talking about hypothetical problems here. These are high-value pain points that real businesses are actively throwing money at right now. Whether it's integrating AI automation, developing a custom app, or taking over their high-end lead generation, these services tie directly to a company's bottom line. Listen, if you can build a B2B service in one of these niches, charging a premium isn't just possible, it's the industry standard. Businesses seriously don't bat an eye at spending money if it reliably, predictably makes them more money.
Okay, moving right along to phase 2 of our execution strategy, building the sales machine, covering days 16 to 30.
Because let's be real, having an amazing high-ticket offer means absolutely zero if no one even knows you exist. And this is where the daily sales funnel math gets pretty brutal. You need to be reaching out to 100 targeted prospects every single day. Yeah, that's 3,000 prospects a month. Why such massive volume? To land just your first 5 to 10 paying clients. You have to go into this fully prepared to eat a massive amount of rejection just to find those few clients who actually say yes. It's essentially an exercise in sheer brute force resilience. And the thing is, you can't just rely on expensive, unpredictable advertising to pull this off. Current Indian growth playbooks heavily emphasize hyper-focused channels. We are talking highly targeted LinkedIn outreach, customized cold emails, direct WhatsApp messages, even old-school cold calling, and leaning really, really hard into referrals. Basically, you are building an aggressive outbound hunting engine.
You are not sitting around waiting to be found. You are actively, relentlessly taking your solution directly to the people who need it. That takes us right into phases 3 and 4 of the strategy, scaling services and products.
All right, let's say you actually hit your initial goal. You've got a fantastic 1 lakh rupees service. To make 1 crore, you need 100 clients. But here's the catch. As a single human being, you literally cannot physically service 100 clients in 90 days. It's impossible. So in days 31 to 60, your job completely transforms. You have to stop doing everything yourself. You need to build a dedicated sales team, hire delivery teams, and implement some heavy automation. Your day-to-day shifts entirely from doing the work to building the machine that does the work.
And that brings us to the final sprint, days 61 to 90. To close that remaining gap and actually hit that 1 crore mark, the playbook suggests a major pivot, adding a scalable digital product. This is where the number 500 becomes absolute magic. Think about it. If you create a highly valuable digital product priced at 10,000 rupees and you leverage all the reputation you've built up over the last 60 days to sell it to just 500 customers, boom, you just generated an extra 50 lakh rupees with basically near zero fulfillment cost.
When you finally put it all together, the sheer brilliance of this model really reveals itself. One half of the pie is that 50 lakh generated from your high-ticket service operations, right? Then, the other half is 50 lakh from your highly scalable, low-overhead digital product. They lock together perfectly to hit that ultimate 1 crore target. It is just an incredibly elegant architecture that perfectly balances high-margin, heavy-lifting effort with low-overhead, massive scale.
But hey, before we get a little too carried away dreaming about crores, we need to talk about the reality check. Because just as this whole plan seems perfectly, beautifully mapped out, we need to pull the rug out just slightly. Here is honestly the single most important lesson in this entire explainer. 1 crore in revenue absolutely does not equal 1 crore in profit. It is so wildly easy to get blinded by those massive top-line numbers, but any modern business playbook will demand that you understand your true unit economics.
The truth is, scaling at this kind of breakneck speed carries immense hidden costs that will mercilessly eat away at your margins. I mean, to hit these numbers, you're almost certainly going to have to pump money into advertising. You absolutely have to pay salaries for that delivery and sales team we just talked about. Add in the software subscriptions, fulfillment costs, and those inevitable customer refunds, your economics change completely. You might generate 1 crore, sure, but your actual take-home profit, that could be a mere fraction of that big shiny number.
And that leads us to this incredibly grounding quote straight from our source material. The point isn't to believe in a magic-making formula. Look, there's absolutely zero guarantee that anyone is going to execute this 90-day timeline flawlessly. Business is messy. Clients say no. Teams fall apart. The real value of this entire exercise isn't in blindly following some guaranteed path to riches, because frankly, that path just doesn't exist.
The actual true takeaway here is about adopting a ruthless, almost mathematical engineering mindset towards your business. If you want to achieve really big things, you have to reverse engineer your target so you know exactly what your daily metrics need to be. You've got to choose a model with a high transaction value so your math actually works out. You have to sell aggressively. You have to measure every single number. And finally, you only scale what is actually tangibly profitable, not just what boosts your ego with big top-line numbers.
Which leaves us with one final thought to really ponder today. Take a good look at your own goals, whatever they might happen to be. Are you approaching them with a structured, math-driven plan? Are you going to reverse engineer your next massive target, or are you just going to keep waiting around, chasing those impossible lottery tickets? The math is out there for all of us, but the choice of how to use it, that's entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this sparks some serious momentum in your own journey.